Hello everyone, welcome to the Clip Studio Paint channel. Today I will be showing you how to create and use your very own Clip Studio Paint brushes. Maybe you don't know what I mean by brushes, so let me show you a few examples. Brushes are the ones you use to draw, right? But today we are here to create these types of brushes. The repetitive patterns that magically appear when you tap on your tablet. There are several types of it, such as cute designs, highlights, sound effects, crowds, jewels. There's a lot to do with it. Sometimes they can also change colors. It is often used in comics to save time because, deadlines, but of course you can use it in any type of art. So welcome to our second part. Let's create our materials. We will divide this part in three. First, what I call one-tap brushes, the ones that appear once when you tap on your screen. Then we will see how to make ribbon brushes, and to finish, I will show you how to make them color changing. So to do our first one-tap brush, let's create our canvas. I usually take a 2000 by 2000 pixel for it. I recommend making your brushes on a large canvas so you avoid pixelized designs. On our canvas now, the first thing we will do is create a vector layer. This is a type of layer that will allow you to resize anything without getting it pixelized. From there, you are free to create any design or shape you want. Today, I will create an earring with you, but remember, you have plenty of other options. The only limit is your imagination, I guess. Once you have your line work design done, you can either stay here, depending on your needs, or you can color it. And of course, for this tutorial, I will quickly do so. Don't forget to always keep all of your layers separated. This way you will always have a backup if you need to change something. Now that this is colored, you can save it now, or as I like to do, create a bunch of other color combos by duplicating my folder and using the color changing menus. If you want to save it right now, you can go to part 3. But if you want to stay here and know how to make ribbon brushes, stay for the next part. As you already saw in the examples, ribbons are great to create highlights, jewels, patterns, etc. And as for the previous part, I used a 2000 by 2000 pixels canvas and started drawing my design with a vector layer. But unlike the one-tap brushes, there's a rule you have to follow for it to continue heavenly. The ends of your ribbon have to be perfectly connected, either from the left to the right or the top to the bottom. Otherwise, you will end up like this. Edges have to be connected, or you can put tiny spaces, as I will show you on the screen. To do so, you have two options. You can either create a pattern at the center, cut it in half, then use the align menu to put the left part at the right and the right part glued to the left edge. The second way to connect your edges is select your symmetric ruler, put 2 and place your ruler in the middle. You can use select the object tool to select your ruler, and here you can go to the center X and cut your canvas in half. Since mine is 2000 by 2000, I know that the half of it is 1000. Now my ruler is perfectly centered. After connecting your two edges, you are now free to create anything you want in the center. Now that my line work is done, I can color my design. Now if you already want to save it, you can go in part 3, or if you want to know how to make color changing brushes, you can just wait for the next part. Color changing brushes are by far my favorite. I use them a lot for a lot of purposes: patterns, highlights, effects. It is also a time saver when it comes to put blushes and makeup in your webtoon. I can change my palette here and the effects will be colored after it. The process is low-key the same as the other types of brushes, but a few details differs into the saving, layers, and options. First, as usual, create your canvas. Mine is 2000 by 2000 pixels. To make your effects the color of your palette, you have to make it black and white, or gray, of course. It has to be colorless in black and white nuances. The nuances can, of course, be transparent too. For you to understand and use it properly, everything that will be close to the black will be the primary color of your palette here, and everything that is white and gets closer to it will be closer to your secondary primary color. I know this part can be tricky, but once you get it, I swear it is actually really easy. For example, even if you choose a very light pink as the primary color and a very dark purple as the secondary, every black part of your designs will be light pink and every white one will be dark purple. What's in the mid will be a mix depending of the brightness. Now that we have this basic understanding, let's create our designs. For the jewels, I keep the line work, but sometimes I go for flats or even full shadows, again, always in black and white. But for mono brushes, such as highlights or blush, I make simple black designs. For particular cases, such as nose blush, I make it black and white like this. Here is another difference with the other types of patterns. For it to color itself, thanks to your color palette, you have to select the layer you want, then go on the tiny 3 lines here, convert layer, image, material layer, and gray. Select OK. And that's it, you have your color changing brush. Now let's go to part 3 to know how to save your designs and to create finally your brushes. There is a tiny difference between one-tap and ribbon brushes, but saving designs is the same. First, duplicate your backup folder, let's always save your work, and merge layers to have a nice flat picture. Now you can save your design as a material by going in Edit, Register Material, Image. Choose a name that you will be able to find easily, a folder, and don't forget to enable this tiny option right here that is called Use for Brush Tip Shape. Now in Materials, you can see the design showing. To create a brush from scratch, just go in your toolbar, the 3 lines here, and create a custom subtool. Give it a name, and I recommend you choosing Direct Draw Pen. Choose a color and or an icon if you want, and tap on OK. Now for one-tap brushes settings, you can go in part 3B, and for ribbon brushes settings, you can go in part 3C. In the settings now, you just have to go in brush tip, material, and this tiny icon right here. Search for the name you gave to your design while saving it and select it. From there, quickly go in brush size and make it bigger to see what you're doing. Then tap on this bottom arrow right here and disable pen pressure. This will allow you to change your brush size only by changing the tool size so it stays consistent. On your computer, you can also use Ctrl plus Alt, then slide your pencil from left to right. You can see now that this is not what we are looking for. To fix this, there is one last thing you have to do. Go in strokes, always in the settings, select the lone dot here. You can now manage the gap between each pattern. If needed, you can also change your design angle by going back to brush tip and angle. And ta-da, your brush is born. For color changing brushes, it is the exact same process. Now let's get to the ribbon brushes. So it's basically the same with a few tiny differences in the settings, but that's it. After creating our brush, once again, you just have to go and tap on this 3 lines here, create custom subtool, direct draw, pen. Let's go to the settings, brush tip, material, and this tiny plus right here. Search for the name of your design and select it. This is where it differs from the one-tap brushes. First, do not touch the brush size. We will go back to it later. We are first going to stroke, but instead of playing with the gap, we will be enabling the ribbon option. Here, my angle is not good, as you can see. I am gonna fix it just by going in brush tip angle and put the angle at 90 degrees. Now, this is totally optional. You can go back to brush size, this tiny arrow right here, and enable or disable the pen pressure. This way you can choose if your ribbon will change size or not, depending of your pen pressure. But most of the time, I personally disable it, but again, depends on the situations. Choose what you like. From there, we have 2 cute tools, and here's a tiny bonus tip. You can merge different colors of your ribbons into one. Just go into your brush settings, brush tip, materials, and add another color combo of your brush. And lastly, if you want to use your brushes, you can see how I do it on the screen right now, especially the nose blush. I always have on top of their skin colors a blush and a highlight color for my characters palettes. This way, when I place my blushes, I put the blush color as a primary color and the highlight color as the secondary one. This is why my highlights designs are white to begin with, so they can directly take the second color and I don't have to switch. Before finishing this tutorial, let me give you 2 quick bonus tips. The first tip is to see your brush shape before applying it, as you can see on my screen here. Go to the preferences cursor and change the pen type cursor to brush shape. It is super useful and makes me go faster when I produce my webtoon, so I highly recommend you doing it. And the second bonus tip I wanted to give you is being able to disable the icon changing with your subtool. Every time you are losing yourself because you just don't remember what is the tool here, for example. But as you can see on my screen, it doesn't change at all, so I know that pencils are always here, flowers are always here, etc, etc. To disable this changing thingy, go on the 3 lines here, icon, and instead of selected subtool, you just select first subtool. And that's it. As you can see, your tool icon will only display your first subtool. This way, even if you change your subtool, there will always be the same icon displaying. And that's a wrap for this video. Thank you so much to Clip Studio Paint for having me on their channel, and I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. Bye bye!